Welcome back. We'll start off today with the, of course, you remember that killings we've been talking about in Nasarawa. We'll get to actually now, yes, from another perspective, what actually transpired. Well, Jibrin Sabo Keina joins us this morning. He's a former chairman, Keina Local Government Council in Nasarawa State. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Nice to meet you.
Well, tell us, what really is going on? Because, I mean, people who watch from our side sometimes can't exactly piece it. We hear about Ombatse, Alakio, and they tell us, look, these people are usually peaceful, and all of a sudden some encroachment. What's going on?
Well, it baffles everybody because the entire community is usually perceived or understand themselves as one. The state is a small state, and people have intermarried. They live together, they go to the same churches, they go to the same mosques, and suddenly some other persons begin to behave in a manner that is inconsistent with our traditions and what we have been bequeathed.
What is it behaving in that
in the manner of now taking up arms against their fellow neighbors for reasons that are practically of no value to anybody as a provocation. The issue on ground stems from activities of our neighbors, the gun people, and for every occasion that it has taken place, it has been the gun people attacking their neighbors. It started from about 2012. I was in a political rally. I was a running mate to Solomon Iwuga. And it's an Egon man.
You are not Egon, are you?
No, I'm a Lago person.
Okay.
I was his running mate, running against an Alago man. We went to a rally in Asakio. Thereafter, there was an uproar of between supporters. People were killed. We all were very remorseful about it, and I think a lot of engagements took place to bring peace to the entire community. But thereafter, events that begin to unfold are now manifesting or giving us a different story, because suddenly, for reasons as meager as stolen bicycle or a burnt bicycle, will lead to a sudden uproar of massive killing and reducing communities into robbers. And the sequence has been ongoing between the same stock of our brothers, the Gon people, and every other tribe that you know exists in Nasarawa State today. Because virtually every tribe lives in and around Lafia, the state capital. They fought against Alago people. They reduced Asakio to Robus. They reduced Ageragu, is a Migili settlement, to Robus. They reduced settlements around Doma, which is made up of Tiv and Gondara, into Robus. They've gone to Anna in Doma area. They reduced it to Robus, killed, beheaded the traditional ruler. They've come to Pandere, the village, the town of the incumbent governor, reduced it to Robus. They killed people.
How long did you say this has been on for?
Since 2012, since about June 2012.
Sorry, my worry here now, since Malcolm asked you that question, is how neutral can you be in all of those stories you're telling us, since you are a Lago man?
Yeah. Well, because that's the truth of the story. Because I have no business being here. I'm a stakeholder in Nasarawa State. I'm an elder statesman. I have a responsibility. I'm coming on this program really because I think I have a responsibility to let the world know that the stories that are being pushed into papers have no bearings to the realities on ground. And I invite you people to come and do a documentary and see it for yourselves, so that you can also speak to the world from your perspective. But the truth is, I want to tell you the truth about what has been happening, and that's what I'm just trying to narrate to you. One, let me give you an example. What happened on 13th and 14th, 12th and 13th of this month? People were going for a wedding. An MD of a bank made people reacting to what they said happened in Obi, in a different village. Youths from one village saw armed men in 2 trucks passing by, and they alerted their colleagues in Obi community that there are 2 vehicles passing through us just now, and they believe those people are armed people. They are Ombatse people. So they were able to stop one. Carried out civic responsibility as Nigerians. They arrested this vehicle, arrested the gentlemen, the boys that were caught in the car, took them to the police, and they were found with guns. In a split of moment, the whole community was surrounded by Ombatse people to demand the release of these foreign people, and they forced the police to release the gentleman to them. Before you could say Jack Robinson, of course, the local boys who arrested the guys who were traveling the vehicle went a little bit off the mark. They burnt the truck, the vehicle that they were traveling in. Naturally, in this kind of scenario, you expect this kind of things. The traditional ruler of Obi local government offered to pay for the vehicle that was burnt for peace to reign. That was on Thursday night. By Friday morning, the negotiation as to how much the cost of this truck was going to cost. I understand one of the members of the Nasarawa State Assembly was even in the meeting. But before 12 o'clock, this thing had changed dimension. A community just between Tudun Adabu. Tudun Adabu is an attached village, settlement of Egon people, to Odobu. Odobu is an Alago town, was burnt down by Ombatse. In reaction to what happened in Obi, they moved into Obi, reduced the community into robbers and killed people. Asakio is 12 kilometers away from Obi in a different local government area. They went ahead and then reduced it to rubble and killed people. And the worst part of this thing is that children that were even locked up in school premises in Asakio were killed and slaughtered like goats. So how do you associate an issue as burning of one vehicle and arresting 2 people and giving them to police, a provocation to raise down a community of Odobu, raise down Obi, and Asakio that has nothing to do with this? Because I was practically a witness, almost a victim, because I was in a Dedere, another 2 kilometers away from Tudun Adabu, where I stopped from coming in because they said, look, there was insecurity problem on the way.
Why do you think all this is happening?
The name Ombatse translates, this is our time. This is our time means we now begin to know.
Yeah, but hasn't the name always been?
No. Nobody has. It's not
the history.
The history is as recent as their political struggle, whatever is called political struggle, started. Because for every attempt, or since Nasarawa State was created, and since the return to civil regime, for every election that came up, an Egon person had always ventured to capture the governorship state of the state, governorship state of the seat of the state. For each of these occasions, coincidentally, each person had always picked an Egoman as a deputy because of everybody's political calculations. But it took a new dimension in 2007. An Alago man, I supported an Egon person to run. We lost at the tribunal, and there's nobody who fought more vigorously for the enthronement of Solomon Uga as a governor than me.
So where's the governor from now?
The governor today is from Lafia, is a Gwandara man. But I need to give you the chronology so you understand what we're talking about. Why, whatever maybe they may be thinking Ombatse should represent now. We lost with Solomon. Solomon today says, we moved from PDP to MPP. With Solomon, we ran against PDP, Ali Udoma. He won. And eventually, as I said, we lost in the tribunal. Me and Solomon moved back to PDP. And as the election approached, Solomon moved back to CPC and went into some form of alliance with incumbent governor. They say, that's what they say, I don't know anything about it. And that there was a promise that he was supposed to spend only 1 term as a governor and then hand it over to them. And I think there's a breakdown somewhere in this kind of agreement, just like it goes in also such kind of calculations. And because they perceive that the man may be running again, they have practically taken to arms. And that brought about the name Ombatse. Ombatse means our time has come, whether we like it or not.
So which local governments are the people of Ombatse from?
They're from Nasarawa. They have also dotted settlement in between our people, our local government areas. Yes, the Alago, the Gwandara, the Megili, the Hausa people.
They're spread like that?
They have dotted, they migrated last into the environment. So most of these other states, or means other settlements, are already villages and settlements that have their traditions, have their kings, have their rulership. So when you come to farm, naturally nobody will say don't farm in with us.
What's this talk about it being some kind of traditional movement, because we understand that sometimes they move into churches as well as a mosque to make people be a part and parcel of their own group. Is there any truth in that?
No.